Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today on Ramblings, it's bad. It's bad. Just last week, Hudson, Meredith's son, broke his finger. You saw the finger go playing basketball. Well, now we have a broken leg. Meredith got home from work yesterday. I was over here working on the ridge, getting all the, tying it all together. Got ground rods, getting the weather heads put on the solar array conduit. It was hot too. Oh my gosh, it was hot. Anyway, Meredith got home from work, and her friend Christina called and said, "Hey, we need one more for softball." Now, Meredith loves sports. She actually was a state champion pole vaulter. Little Meredith was a state champion pole vaulter. When she told me that, I'm like, really? She is an attorney, so you know they can pull one over on you. But no, she was a state champion pole vaulter. She's always been big into sports, and she's been wanting to play with her neighbor. Her neighbor's in an intramural league, co-ed. Is that right? I don't know how that, so softball, and it just never worked out. But anyway, Christina called Meredith last minute, and said, "I need you here in 8 minutes. The game starts in 8 minutes. We need another female for the team." And Meredith said, "Well, I gotta go pick up Willa from dance." And where they're playing softball was real close to where Willa goes to dance. So Christina says, "Don't worry, I'll go pick Willa up. You get your gear on or whatever, and you meet us at the field, and I'll just meet you there with Willa." So she said, "Okay." So she gets to go play softball. And so Christina picks up Willa and brings her back to the field. Meredith, gets her clothes on, everything, jumps in the car and runs up and to the field, and commences to playing softball. Now, it's been a while since she played softball, she said. She said, a good while. The school she went to, it was more, lacrosse and stuff. Soccer and lacrosse, softball, those type of, volleyball. Though I think she actually did play some volleyball. But those type of sports were not as strong, as big in her school. So she's an athlete. So she can get around even without playing in a long time. They put her as catcher, okay, and she's like, "I don't have any of the gear. I don't have the face mask. I don't have the if someone does a foul tip, hits that ball and hits me in the face, it's not going to be a good day." Well, they said, "Well, it's the easiest. You just stand behind the umpire." So the umpire would act as a block between Meredith and the plate in case So she said every time the batter, it was slow pitch softball, so the underhand and the ball goes whoop like that, and then you dink, and she said every time the ball was pitched, she would put the glove right in front of her face. In case it was a foul tip. She didn't want to mess her face up. Because guys, we're getting married in a month, right? We're getting married in a month, or a little more than a month and 2 weeks, so 6 weeks. So she's playing catcher, and basically, if a play has to be made at home plate, the pitcher runs. Typically, the pitcher runs and behind the catcher, and the catcher makes the play. Well, she'd already told the pitcher, "Hey, I'll back you up. You make the plays at home plate." Again, she hadn't played softball in ages. She did bat. She got up to bat, and she said she hit the ball. I think she said hit the ball every time. And no home runs, though. No home runs. Well, her friend Christina, who, by the way, guys, Christina is her maid of honor. Is that how you say it? Maid of honor? in the wedding. So she's the, I have David's my best man. David will come on homesteading. And she has Christina, her maid of honor. So in the wedding. So Christina's very athletic. I mean, we went and played disc golf with them before, and she's amazing with the disc golf, and yeah, she's a very, very athletic young lady. And she hit one and was running around the bases, and she got a triple. So the ball's being thrown in from outfield, and she goes to slide into home plate. Oh my gosh, guys. Meredith said, not sure exactly what happened, whether the third baseman stuck their foot down, in the path of her foot, or stepped on her foot, or what. But Christina goes to slide into third base. Again, this is just a for fun, league. And breaks her leg. Now, Meredith said she ran out there to third base. Christina's, her leg. And she said, Meredith is risk averse. Right? We told you that she's a risk averse. She does not like when she won't even look at the picture of Hudson's broken finger. So when something like that happens, she is not usually your go-to paramedic, first responder kind of person. But she said everybody else was like, yeah, let's just call an ambulance and everything, And Meredith's like, no, we're going to take care of her. So Meredith jumps in her Range Rover and drives it onto the softball field. Drives it all the way out to third base. And she said, load her up. I'm taking her to the emergency room. So, and Meredith said, she didn't know if it was a compound fracture. As bad as Christina was reacting, she thought it might have been a compound fracture where the bone shoots out the leg. Like Hudson's finger actually was compound a little bit. The little bone stuck out right there a little bit. And don't worry, guys, I don't have pictures of Christina's leg today. But they loaded her up into Meredith's Range Rover, and Meredith took her to the emergency room. And she said she got in the emergency room, and she said, yeah, I got a broken leg and everything. And Christina had these Nike pants on. And she didn't want them cutting them off her. She wanted to keep her pants, so because I guess they're stretched. They slid them up, and they take X-rays and do all that. Meredith's at the emergency room late last night. I was on the phone with her while she was in the emergency room, and Christina's So they have to take X-rays. They have to basically set the bone. She broke her fibula and tibia. She broke both of them. I don't know where on the bones. Meredith, she didn't go into the details about that, but she broke both her tibia and fibula. You have your femur, which is the long bone from your hip to your knee, and that's a bad bone to break. I mean, that thing's that big around, right? And then you have the two little bones that go from your knee to your ankle, and they're like your forearm. You have your humerus, your radius, and your ulna. And these two bones, twist, allowing all this action. Well, the same thing with your foot. You have the tibia and fibula. So she broke them both. And so Meredith was with her late last night, and then brought her home. Meredith actually called and made an appointment for her to see the orthopedic surgeon this morning. And Meredith brought Christina home late last night, and they actually had, this is crazy, Christina actually had to go up to the pharmacy herself with a broken leg because they gave her pain medicine, and her kids, or Meredith, couldn't go get it because it's a narcotic or whatever, controlled substance. I don't know if it's a narcotic or whatever it was. But so anyway, she had to drive up to the emergency room or the pharmacy to get that, which again is like 15-20 minutes. Everybody lives out in the country. Everything's 15-20 minutes. You laying an egg? Luna's over there laying an egg. She's doing good. The black copper Moran. So Christina gets her pain meds, and Meredith said, all right, I'm taking you to the orthopedic surgeon in the morning. She got to take Hudson to school. She got to take Christina to the orthopedic surgeon, take Willa to school, and then come back up and pick Christina up, and then take her to her office, and Christina can stay at her office. Well, Christina had a rough night last night with the leg, because yeah, remember, both those bones are still broken, and all they did was put a boot on it just to hold it in place. And so she dealt with that all night, and she talked to Meredith, said, hey, I have to reschedule. I cannot make it this morning. So Meredith took Willa and the kids to school, and she's tired as can be. But Christina is in the wedding. So Christina may end up having to have surgery or get a cast and all that stuff. So how will it affect the wedding? We're going to have Christina. Now, it is on her leg. I mean, she can wear a long dress and everything. But as far as walking, usually your bridesmaid doesn't have to walk or anything. I mean, they usually walk down the aisle. But I don't think we're going to do that. I'm thinking we're going to forego all the family and everything walking down the aisle, and just have me and Meredith walk down, or Meredith walk down the aisle with and actually Hudson, Meredith's 15-year-old son, is going to walk Meredith down the aisle, and Willa is going to do a Shanae aerial or something. She's going to, because she's a dancer, she does dance. She's going to do a dance thing. It's like, instead of being like the typical flower girl walking, she's going to be doing a dance, and she has a special dress and everything. She's practicing a dance routine at her dance studio. Her dance instructor helped her pick out the dress for the wedding, and she's doing this dance, the go down the aisle dance. So I think we're just going to have, of course, my granddaughter can be a flower girl if she wants to. We still have to coordinate that with our wedding planner. But so really, it's just going to be Meredith walking down the aisle with Hudson, and then meeting me. We're not going to have the whole procession of all the family and all that stuff. I don't think that's what we're kind of simple people. We don't want to. We're more into a beautiful place, the close family and friends. It's a small wedding. I had so many people that I wanted to invite and didn't get to, just because we were trying to keep it small. Ooh, that wind is tough. But we're not having a big dinner. We're just having hors d'oeuvres. But we're gonna have a dance afterwards. Lighting and music and everything. And it's just gonna be a good joining of families time. I have my family coming in from the Northeast, and of course my kids are gonna all be there, and grandkids and everything. Meredith's brothers coming up with and of course her mom and dad and everything. Again, small. We're not cousins and nephews, uncles. Really aren't coming. So if you didn't get invited, don't feel bad, because a lot of people didn't get invited. We're keeping it small. So yeah, it's so Hudson breaks his finger, and then Meredith's best friend, who's in the wedding, breaks her leg. I mean, Hudson may end up being in a cast. Because with his, actually no. Ooh, update. I'm sorry. Update. Okay. Meredith took Hudson to the orthopedic surgeon, the same place she was supposed to take Christina, and they looked at his finger and everything, and they said, "Don't look like we're going to have to do surgery. You have your splint. Keep it on there, but you actually, because the way the tendons and ligaments were, you need to do physical therapy on it." You need to take the splint off and do the stretching exercises. Once it's healed right there, and you need to make sure you keep your mobility in that finger. And so Meredith says, "Can he do farm chores? Can he feed grain and hay?" Hudson's like, "No, I can't feed hay because those bales, I can't lift them up and everything." And she said, "No, the doctor said you need to actually be using it and keeping it mobile, but he has to wear a splint, obviously, when he's doing the hay, because you don't want to turn it sideways." Because Meredith's got so much going on, and the kids really help her, around the property. feeding the rabbits and helping, the pool area, mowing the yard. Of course, Meredith mowed the yard last week because Hudson broke his finger and hadn't been to the doctor yet. So, but normally Hudson mows the yard. Of course, helps feed. I help feed grain and hay when I'm there, and Hudson does. So it's really a team effort. It's really a team effort because Meredith has so much on her plate. So I know you guys have gone this far in the video, and I've got some good news. I've got some good news. It looks like, and I'll talk about this again later on. Tim always talks about things at least twice. That's why we call it rambling, because I just ramble. It looks like I've got about 6 more videos, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but probably 6 videos after the ones I've already got filmed. Obviously, the trenches and stuff. Before I can call the state inspector in to do the rough-in inspection and trench inspection. Actually, no, take that back, guys. Well, yes. There's about probably 6 to 8 videos before I'm ready to move to the house. Let's just say it that way. I got about 6 videos, 5 or 6 videos before I can call the state inspector in to come inspect the power shed and the trenches and everything, and then I can power the system up. Because I'm going to do run the wires and do most of the terminations. A lot of times in rough-in you don't do the terminations, but he said with solar, he's used to, whenever he does solar inspections, he comes in and usually the contractors have just done the whole thing. There's really no rough-in inspection for the solar because, usually rough-in inspection, as you have your drywall off your walls and all the Romex running through, and he has to see all that stuff interior of the wall, make sure the wall plates are that, just all that stuff. Well, with my build, there's none of that. So he can see everything external. So the good news is, it looks like I've only got about 6 more videos to go, maybe 8, and I'll be able to start on the house. What you see behind me there. Hopefully you can see it. I know the exposure's a little bit bright. That's pretty amazing. So the goal is to finish the solar shed before the wedding, and then after I come back from the wedding, start on the house. Yeah, that's again, I know a lot of people didn't make it this far into the video. I'll talk about this again a little bit later as we get closer. But for those that stuck around this video, that's the plan. Solar shed, solar power, 100% done by the wedding. That's the goal, is to have it 100% done by the wedding. I at least want to have 1 inverter ready to power up initially. Because the way I'm still using solar panels for my temporary, Blue Eddies and Jackeries and stuff. So I have to get up there and I have to unwire all those and then wire them into the existing system and then commission them as a 3 inverter system. But I can still power it up on one primary inverter and power everything. And then commission the second and third inverters onto it. So that's probably what I'll do, is I'll get the one going on the 16 solar panels, and then commission the second and third one right afterward. Because it's just software, changing settings, and and then the batteries, I'll pre-charge all the batteries with the charge inverter and all those things. So yeah, I feel really bad for Christina, breaking her leg like that. When Meredith called me last night and said a broken leg, I was like, oh my gosh, Meredith broke her leg playing softball for the first time in years, and now she's going to be wearing a cast and can't walk down the aisle. She's going to have crutches. Crazy. But no, it was not Meredith, it was Christina, the bridesmaid. Just crazy. Just crazy. All right, I'm out of coffee. It's early in the morning. I'm going to get this uploaded to you. And I've got tons of work to do before I go to Meredith's for our live stream tonight. And on the live, of course, Meredith will be able to tell you more exactly what happened. I don't know all the details, but we'll get to talk about a lot of that. Of course, I'm going to Florida, Panama City, with my son to see where he works, gonna work, and look at some apartments with him. That'll be this weekend. And then, of course, a couple, and then 2 weekends. Is that right? Yeah, we got Steel Horse Rally in Fort Smith, Arkansas with David. Meredith says she's going to go, so I'll bring the Harley, and we'll go over and ride with Country Road Cure and Come On Homesteading at the motorcycle rally. And again, these are weekends. And then during the week, of course, I'm over here kicking it, trying to get this solar done before the wedding. That's the plan, guys. That's the plan. So if you like today's video, give it a big old thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. It's always 100% free. Hit that notification bell right down there to be notified anytime a new video comes out. And if you got a hype on a mobile device, hit it. Until next time, hope everyone has a blessed day. Keep rambling and go Ridge Life.